Good morning. Today I have 3 cards I'm going to show you. 2 I'm going to demonstrate, but they use the same set. And then this third one here, I didn't design, but we did it as part of our Marathon Stamp Day, the day after we got our giant box of stuff from the new catalog. This one uses Floral Essence, and my friend Susan did it, so she will probably do the video and put it up on her YouTube channel. So I just wanted to show you. It's super pretty. It uses some stuff, and I haven't made the card yet. Actually, I've stamped it, but I haven't put it together. But I did watch her as she, well, kind of. I was highly distracted. It uses, I can't remember what dye this comes out of, but it was a strange dye to us. So that was part of what she was trying to figure out how the dye exactly worked. But this is going to be a really fun stamp bundle. And one of the reasons is, here's the stamp set. Again, it's called Floral Essence. It's photopolymer. And it works with the leaf die, and then it also has a leaf punch, and then it works with a new punch. So the punch bundles are always super popular because you don't have to have a die cutting machine, so they're quick. So that's that one, and I will put a picture of the card up on my blog so you can go over and get another picture, another view of it. Then the one I'm going to demonstrate for you today is called A Good Man, and it goes with the wildly popular Beautiful You. There's 2 girl sets in the current catalog. One's been around for a couple of years, then they added one this year that have brides, pregnant ladies, ladies kicking raindrops, all kind of fun things. And we finally have one that has a guy, several guy images, male images. One says, I'll read the sayings to you. I grew up loved, it's your day, you do a great job of being a great guy, relax your way. Being a good dad starts with being a good man. So I know it's going to be just as popular as the girl sets. So I'm going to use that for you today to make my 2 cards, because what happened was I did design these cards, so I was doing 2 at the same time because I wasn't quite sure which one I wanted to do, and when I was done, they were super cute. Then I'm also going to use a bunch of the new in colors. So this one is Pretty Peacock. If you've been around Stampin' Up! For a while, it has tones that kind of will take you back to not quite navy a little bit. I don't have an well, maybe somewhere like in the depths of my color storage system, I may have some not quite navy. It just reminds me of that. It's maybe a mix of not quite navy and like taken with teal. Like if those 2 had a baby, it might be Pretty Peacock. So it's definitely a merge between, it's greener, I think, than not quite navy. Not quite navy was more navy, just not quite. So I'm going to use that for my card bases. And then I'm going to use our watercolor paper, which we do have a new one that will be in the new catalog. This is not the new. And Heather, who went to On Stage, did have a piece of the new watercolor paper. And we felt it. It didn't feel a whole lot different. So I think when it comes out, there may be some new information on it. She didn't know a lot about it, and she didn't have enough that we could work with it. So for now, I'm just going to use the old, and if there's something new, because I love to watercolor, then I will find out what's different, and I will let you know. Now, when you're going to stamp on the watercolor paper, you want to make sure your image is nice and inked. And then you want to hold it just down a second. And sometimes then it still doesn't work, but that's why there's 2 sides to the paper. So I've just got my images double mounted on my block because that night we made so many cards and it took all of my blocks. That's why there's 2 on here. So he's pretty good. So we'll go with that. Because you do want a kind of sketchy look. Not sketchy like sketchy, but sketchy like they've been hand drawn. So he's good. And you want to make sure that your memento pad is freshly inked. And this you could use Stays On. You know, Stays On isn't good for your photopolymer stamps, but this is a red rubber. So you could. So get it nice and inked. This is a father holding his little girl. And there's also one in the set where he's holding a little boy. So get it nice and inked. And then put it on here. I'm going to cut these out with the die. I'm going to use the rectangle stitch dies, and the watercolor paper cuts fine. It's a little bit thicker. So when you press, you just want to have time for the paper to soak up some of the ink, but you don't want to move it around, especially if you caught any ink on the edges. That one's a little bit better than this one. So you can see I pressed a little harder. So let's see if we get a better image on the other side. That's why you have two sides of paper. You do it twice and then you can pick the best one. Doesn't work on vellum, which I am going to use the new vellum on this card, which is fun. And sometimes, you know, when you don't have everything, like right now we don't have everything because there's lots of new stuff. So some of the choices on this card were made because it's what we had. So you can press hard and just let it soak into the card, and we'll see if this one gets a little bit better. It's about the same. It's this bold line right here, but when we watercolor it, we can cover that right up. And then on this piece right here, there's a little stamp that says "Relax Your Way." It's obviously going to go with the guy in the sand chair. My daughter doesn't watch my videos, so I can say this because she won't know that I said it. When her boyfriend goes on vacation, she tends to stick little cards for every day that he's gone in his suitcase, so this would be perfect for that. So we've got "Relax Your Way," and then this is going to go on the inside of the little girl card, and it's the one that says "Being a good dad starts with being a good man." This would be really nice if you have a son who's recently become a father. Just put this here. And of course that stamps perfectly because this is just, actually this is a piece of shimmer cardstock because I didn't have, we'd run out of cardstock. So I do have, because I made this card, I have 2 samples of this. And this is just a little like hand-drawn heart that comes in the set, which you can reach for on lots of cards. It doesn't even have to be for that. So that's all the stamping that I'm going to do for this. And then to watercolor. Now there are different ways that I might have watercolored this, but because all I have right now are the pads, and that's what I wanted to use. I don't have any refills, and I didn't have very many colors to pick from. So, and because my, I don't remember what color, like if we were using a stamp pad, it was being used on another card. So I did pull one blend in. So this is the ivory blend, which is kind of skin tone. And on the watercolor paper, it really soaks up the blend. So just take your brush tip and go as fast as you can. Otherwise, not so bad for him because he is sitting on the beach, so he could be tan. And again, he's watercolored, so you don't have, it doesn't have to be perfect. But if you go too long with watercolor paper and a blend, it really soaks it up. So he would be really, really ivory, which is a good skin color in most situations. But it's not really, you know, my family comes in all hues. It's not a hue, it's not a natural hue of any hue. So get his neck, get her little arms, get his arm. The first time I colored him, you know, the first time you color some of these images, and then I'm not sure that he's barefoot, but I didn't want to have one more color, so my guy's barefoot. It looks like he's standing in the water anyways. So that's all you need the blend for. And then let's start with the lightest colors because we are going to use a blender pen. And when you use a blender pen, if you start with the lightest colors, then you don't have to smudge off as much of your ink. So take your pad, because I do have refills for the colors that are new, and you just kind of smash them down here. But from the new pads, I don't have a refill yet. So just grab your, I didn't put any scrap paper here, so I'm going to flip this over because you know we have 2 sides to paper. Make sure that wasn't dirty. And this just is super quick watercoloring because again, it's brush stroke, so you don't need to take any time. Just color some color on there and then go do it once and then go back and hit the places where there's lines. And that's all the color that you need. And then to get that off, you just squidge over there. And that's why you don't want to get too much ink on there because you don't want to waste the fluid that's in your blender pen. So that's Sahara Sand. Then let's move to our next lightest color, which Purple Posy and Seaside Sprout, both new colors. And they're kind of you know, ish. They're both the same. So again, squish. And these, lots of people have already made this card. So you can tell it's been used lots of times. And it doesn't do anything to your pad, so you're fine. So I'm going to get her shirt. And the watercolor paper doesn't pill or anything, so you could work for as long as you wanted on this. But again, this is just we're just going for a little bit of a color. And then we'll get his shirt. Maybe if I had had all the refills, I might have done an aqua painter, because this paper could stand a little bit more water. But you work with what you have. So if you don't have the refills, you can still watercolor. Again, just kind of, you can see what I'm doing. You just kind of hit it, and then I'm just going to give his little hat a band of purple because he's super stylish. You know how many of your guys go out on the beach with an outfit that matches? Maybe if you dressed him right. And then just get that off of there. I think that's all the purple we need, yeah? Okay, then let's do the Seaside Spray. I will show you the purple posy with the Highland Heather. A big difference. This is our lightest current purple, so you can tell that's a way lighter shade of purple. So let's get the Seaside Spray, and it maybe harkens back to Almost Amethyst, but again, a lot more blue than Almost Amethyst was, because it was Almost Amethyst, which was more purple. This is a pretty blue. So let's get his shirt. And the coloring doesn't have to be perfect because you are going for a watercolor look. You just want to make sure that you mostly get all of, like, you want all of his shirt. You don't want to miss a spot and then be done and be like, oh, that was part of his shirt. Here we've got her pants. I did miss a little bit of her belly because she's got on a half shirt. And then we'll get his shorts over here. I have my windows open. I don't know if you can hear the birds. It's driving my cats crazy today. And then we'll get his hat. You could do as many colors as you wanted, but I wanted to keep these cards kind of simple. In fact, I pulled in the Highland Heather only because my little girl has on some pants. Oh, and then I want to get the water. So just a little squidge of water. Down there for their feet. Get this real quick while I remember this. See her little belly right there? Her little shirt's raised up. Okay, now we'll get the Highland Heather. And again, just squish this together. And she has a tiny little bow. You know how girls pull their hair back, so I'm going to get that with the Highland Heather. There is a little piece that's going to be missing from this card because I used the braided linen trim, which is going to carry over into the new catalog, and we used it all up. And instead of squishing that over here to get rid of it, I'll just add a little bit of dark to his shirt. And that's used up, and I didn't have to waste the Highland. But I don't have any of it left, so I'll show you the finished card with that I made with it on there, and then you can see it without it. And then my friend who didn't get a chance to make her card that night can add it at her house because I'm sure she has some, because we all have braided linen trim because it's perfect for cards like these because it adds a little bit of touch of ribbon. And then this color is just beautiful. You are going to love the peacock. So just get his chair. And with this blender pen, you barely need to pick up any because it is a really strong color. So I've got him sitting on his chair. And then we'll get his pants. So kind of let your ink come off. And then go back and hit the places that you want a little bit darker. There we go. All the coloring's done. So these 2 cards and super, super quick. Oh, you know what I forgot though? I forgot to do these cute little things. So now we're gonna go in reverse order. I wouldn't do them except they turned out so super cute, and because I'm giving this card to Susan, I want her to have. So with these, do 1 line here of color and then just kind of pull it off. And then I've got here, we'll do it up here because I'm going to cut these out with the Big Shot. This is what happens when you go backwards. And then let's do all the new colors. So let's do Seaside Spray. I don't know them yet, so I have to look at you can tell I haven't even put my labels on. So again, you get a bunch of color, put a stripe here, and then just pull it off. And then let's do Purple Posy. A line here. And then just clean your pen. That was super fast, and I wanted you to see it because it's such a pretty effect. Okay, let's just Big Shot these little puppies, and use a couple of different things. First, this you're going to love. It's from a set called Stamp Your Art Out, I believe. I think it's the Stamp Your Art Out collection, and it has ink refills. I am going to show you some stuff with it. I should have done that card with it. Here's a little Stampin' Up box that is part of the collection. It has refills. It has like stampy sayings. So it's a definite crafter lover set. But this little paper clip is thebomb.com. So here's a sheet where we were working with the other night. And this is the black foil. So the nice thing is, black foil, silver foil, we went back and forth. Now on my card, I wanted to use the black foil. Then on the other cards, you know, it'd be super cute in the silver foil, but you could do any metallic color, but you can really do any color. But if you just keep some of this at your desk, then you'll always have literal paper clips, because these suckers are paper clips. So just pull your paper clip out of here, and then if you want, you can take scissors and have the reverse, because you get a 2 for 1. But the other night we just used the 1. I'm doing this at a funky angle so you can see it. Well, I'm going to put it down, and I'll do that in a second instead of reaching over this. Okay, then I am going to take my subtle embossing folder, because you know I use that on everything. And for this, it just helps. It gives a lot of texture to this card, and it kind of matches up then with the watercolor paper. So I'm going to send this one through. And this is, I'm not as tired, so I know the other day I called the Blackberry Bliss Eggplant. And this is blackberry that I'm going to use on this card. And I know this is not blackberry. This is crumb cake. Is it crumb cake? No, it's not crumb cake. It is. Maybe I'm tired. So I'm going to use the blackberry. So we got blackberry, and then this piece right here is from our Nautical, and I don't remember maybe Come Sail Away. I don't remember what the paper's called. I will show you that in another video. I know some of you are getting frustrated because like you wanted to see how I dyed the ribbon. All of it's coming, but I can't fit everything in every video, or my videos will be 3 hours long. So I have a ton of videos. Some of them are ready to be ready to be edited. Some of them are sitting here in a line ready to be filmed. But I literally probably have 10 videos, and I can't show you all 10 videos in once. So I know it can be frustrating because I show you something and you're like, you didn't show us how to do that. And now I'm showing you paper that I don't know the name of, and I'm just showing you one little tiny snippet of it. Look how gorgeous it is on this side. And I'm only going to show you that piece, but it is part of the new nautical collection. And like paperclip, I'm only showing you that. If I showed you everything, we'd be sitting here for hours, and then people would complain that I'm taking too long. Okay, this is our new vellum. So it comes in, I don't know the actual colors, but it's pink, green, and yellow. So I think this is saffron, maybe blushing, it's not blushing bright, I don't know, and maybe, I'm gonna go with maybe mint. Once again, I don't know because I don't have a catalog, but I do have the paper. So when I show you another card, maybe I'll know. And once I can link the stuff to the product links, but our catalog's not live yet. So you know, it's all sneak peek. But it does, we did notice when we were working with it, it has two sides. So this is the front and this is the back. So you can tell the back is definitely a back, which you may want that sometimes because it's a muted color of the color. So here it is before it goes through the settles. And so because it has a front, you want the front to go through the front. So put it where the Stampin' Up is. And then we're gonna send this through. And for this card, because I don't want it to cover up the peacock background, once you send it through here, it gives it texture, and it kind of like, it does make it, here. So see how pretty that is? It gives it a prettier feel when it's on that. It doesn't look like you just laid a piece of paper on there. It looks like it's now part of the card. Okay, so now I just need to cut these two pieces out, my watercolor paper. And I know if, like I said, the frustration has been, I've been a little surprised, some of the comments that people have because they're frustrated. If you are a customer, once this catalog goes live in a couple of weeks before, like when I have it, and once I can start posting the links, but the links won't go live to our catalog until the catalog is live. So I can't post the links, so like the names don't particularly matter. I do post the names when I have them. These are the stitched rectangles, and they are in the current catalog. And if you're a demonstrator and you're frustrated because I don't know the names, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can go look them up the same as me in the online catalog if you don't have one, because I do not have a paper catalog. So you can go look it up. Now this is watercolor paper, and I'm gonna have to stand up because it is harder paper to get through here. So you have to kind of hold on to it. It's one more thickness than regular cardstock. There we go. But the nice thing is you don't have to roll back because it's one pass and it's done. So we've got that. And then we've got that. So that's all the cutting. Now we just have to stick them all together and we're done. Okay, let's do the beach guy first. Here. And when you do the paper clip, you have to remember that it's paper. So it doesn't really, I didn't take it out, did I? It doesn't really, like you can't really hook it. And they don't, where did I lay my scissors? I know I laid them here. Like it doesn't work like a real paper clip. I'm just gonna break mine out of here. So it's not going to really hold stuff together because it's made out of paper. So you know, it was freezing cold, not freezing cold. It becomes relative. You know, when it was literally freezing cold here in January when we had warnings. See, so you can get a reverse one and you get this one, but like it's not going to hold anything together because it's literally paper. Can you see that? So what you want to do is just glue it to your paper. You don't want to try to like push it on there and try to get it to hold your paper on there because it's not going to hold it. So what I did before was I added a tiny bit of adhesive. There's my mistake. Not really a mistake, but this one's better. So put a tiny bit of adhesive. Actually, I'm not going to even stick that one on the back because that looks really good there. I liked the paper clip with the office theme, like getting out of the office. Like, remind yourself to go relax. So here's this one. Isn't that cute? Cute, cute. You can have paper clip in every color. It's worth the whole die set. I mean, the whole die is fabulous, but just to have that one is worth it. Okay, let's do this one. And this is the one where I don't have any more of the ribbon. And I look to see, you know, ribbon on guide cards. Guide cards can be a little bit of a challenge anyway. So I didn't have anything else really that would be current when the new catalog comes out. Look how, don't you just love those little hearts? Okay, so we're gonna go with the yellow first. And I'm 99% certain that this is So Saffron. And you, I think that you can see through the vellum if you don't run it through the settles, but you can see I've smucked a bunch of adhesive on there. So run it through your settle embossing folder and you cannot see your adhesive. See, it's nothing. And then we're gonna go with the blackberry. And then if I had the braided linen trim, I would wrap it around right here. So I'm just barely going to put it up here. So when I give this to Susan, she can do hers. And then let me show you where mine is. Here you go. So just pull it around and you've got that. So here is it doesn't take long. You could make a really great set of guide cards. And if you have both sets or all three now sets of the series of stamps that look like this, then you would make a really great gift for somebody. And they're so fast, and you could do all the same colors. Like you could translate these same new in colors over to a beautiful you and the girl sets that we have, the female sets. So I hope you enjoy that and have a great day. Bye.